Hey guys, it's Laura here and welcome to my extremely messy garage. So awesome that we're gonna use this trash can as our workspace. We're currently in the process of fixing our deck, so all of our patio furniture is here. But I wanted to make you guys a video on how I prep my wood, because I know a lot of you have asked. First thing I'm doing is I'm just gonna mark my board. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my square and I'm going to just draw my lines a little bit straighter so that when I get my saw out, I have a better line to go off of. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my board, and I'm going to start in the middle of the board just to help counterbalance the weight. And I'm just using a 10-inch compound slide miter saw. Okay, now that my wood's all cut, I'm gonna go ahead and sand it. I'm gonna use my Ryobi orbital sander and sanding discs, and here we go. So, I cut all my boards, I've sanded all of my boards, and now I'm ready for stain. So this particular stain I'm using is Minwax Jacobean 2750, and I typically have like latex gloves that I put underneath these really amazing gardener gloves. They're really not that amazing, but they do the trick. But what I like to do is first, obviously, you want to stir your stain. I'm not gonna lie, the can says not to shake it, but I absolutely shake mine all the time. And I just kind of roll it up, dip it into the stain, grab my piece of wood. And you always want to go with the grain of the wood. And I just kind of press down into the wood grain, like if there's spots that it doesn't take very well, I just kind of push, again, go with the grain. All right, so I've let my wood sit for, I think, 2 days, and we are ready to paint. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some aluminum foil and I'm just going to line my roller tray with it, and this just helps me not have to wash my tray all the time. So a little tip for you. Next I'm going to use just an eggshell. This is just Olympic, and I usually shake it up really well and also stir it with a paint stick. a small foam roll brush and roll it on to my wood. So my wood is all painted. I'm gonna let this dry for probably about 20-30 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and give it a second coat, and depending on what it looks like, I might do a third. It just depends on the coverage and the saturation of the paint. My wood is all painted and dried, and we're ready to stencil. So I've gone ahead and weeded all my lettering out, and I'm just going to transfer this with my transfer tape, and I'm using contact paper as my transfer tape. It's really important that when you're burnishing your vinyl onto your wood before you do the actual stenciling with the paint, you want to make sure that it is really on there well, because that's going to help prevent your leaking. Tip, if you do get some bleeding on some of your lettering, if you just take like a really sharp edge, like these tweezers are really sharp, I can just kind of scrape away gently the bleed.
Okay, what you're seeing me do here is I'm just taking the base color paint and I'm touching up around some spots that maybe I didn't like where the paint bled through, or I just really like to kind of make sure that it's a crisp edge. For this particular sign, I wanted to kind of make them look a little bit rustic because I was leaving the sides and the back stained. So just taking 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going with the grain of the wood and just kind of roughing it up where I want it to kind of look like it's been worn. This project was so fun to do, and I was so glad I got to share it with you guys. It's a really easy technique. I think the thing that sometimes people get discouraged with is it does take a few days because you really want that stain to be completely dry and you want your base coat paint to be completely dry. That just really helps your lettering turn out nice and crisp, and overall just gives you a really good product. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you want to see more tutorials like this, comment below. Let me know what you want to see. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so I can keep giving you guys all the silhouette tutorials and DIY projects you want.